very good evening and welcome to our first edition of UBC News Tonight on this 6th day of March 2025. We do welcome you this evening. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto and my colleague on sign language interpretation, Muhammad Mugalu. Now, before we get into tonight's news bulletin, let's first take a look at the top stories tonight. And in our top stories tonight, Museveni celebrates life of Kategaya, describes him as an intelligent lobbyist. The First Lady, British High Commissioner, discussed cooperation in education sector. State Minister Lily Akello and 3 individuals failed to account for 1.9 billion in PAC. And MPs call for investigations on the perpetrators of Kawempe North dirty scenes. Good evening once again. Now in our first story this evening, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, has prayed that the current review of foreign aid assistance by the countries in the West does not affect the already negotiated or ongoing human capital development interventions. Her Excellency Lisa Chelsney, who started her tour of duty in Uganda in October 2024, was accompanied by Phil Elks, team leader for humanitarian and human development team, together with Ichuma Sylvia, the social development and education lead at the High Commission.
The First Lady made the appeal while meeting the British High Commissioner to Uganda, Her Excellency Lisa Chelsney, who paid a courtesy call on her at State House Nakasero.
I'm aware that globally the times we are in these days are quite dynamic, especially with the governments in the developed world, reviewing their foreign and aid and assistance occasioned with other freeze in aid or significant reduction in aid. I guess it's really happening across the globe.
Her prayer is that the original purpose of the United Kingdom's government support for education in Uganda remains the guiding light, even as decisions are being made on which areas to reconsider foreign aid assistance, especially when the need is still there.
Therefore, Your Excellency, we count on you to be our voice in places where we may not be participating as a country in discussions about the current ongoing view of foreign aid assistance by several developed countries, including but not limited to the United Kingdom.
Mrs. Museveni also requested for the British High Commissioner's support in advocating for the multilateral global partnership for education grant financing for Uganda to become a reality. An example of the plan to rehabilitate some of the traditional public secondary schools which were constructed during colonial times and have provided education for a long time. The minister welcomed Her Excellency Lisa Chelsney to Uganda and thanked the government and the British people for the partnership with Uganda over the years.
The programs are so good for our children. We know that we receive scholarships, for instance, for higher education, and they support our students for master's degrees and sometimes for PhDs. And really, we can't thank you, your country, enough for programs such as those.
Her Excellency Lisa Chelsney acknowledged that times are very dynamic, the world order was changing, and that there is a degree of uncertainty everywhere. She said that UK's Prime Minister recently made an announcement about aid cuts, and currently the UK government has put more focus on defence and homeland security. She acknowledged that both the Uganda and UK governments have put tremendous focus on education and committed to continue working together.
My team told me that I think with our Chevening scholarships and our Commonwealth scholarships, Uganda is now up to nearly 2,000 odd scholars that have come through that route, which is ahead of many other African countries.
The ambassador assured Uganda that they have been working with the World Bank in Washington over the last couple of months, and she's hopeful that the GPE2 funding that have been tied up would start to be unblocked within the next few months.
Last couple of months, we've been working very closely with the World Bank, also in Washington. The UK actually pulled together all of the relevant diplomatic missions. Our executive director, UK executive director, did the same in Washington, so we could have a conversation and try and see what we can do. I'm pleased that the mitigation measures and framework are in place and they've all been rolled out. And I can tell you that I'm hoping within the next few months, funding for that 300+ million will start to be unblocked.
Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
And to our headlining story this evening, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has described his longtime friend, lawyer and politician, the late Elia Kategaya, as an intelligent man who practiced politics with a clear vision. President Museveni shared that he had known Kategaya for 73 years, from their time together in primary school to their collaboration in the struggles of the National Resistance Army, NRA, and later in Parliament, where Kategaya served in various cabinet positions. Kategaya passed away in 2013 while serving as the first Deputy Prime Minister of Uganda and Minister for East African Community Affairs. Today, President Museveni attended his memorial lecture as a chief guest.
Local sectarianism in Ankole, between the cattle keepers and the cultivators, like Rwanda type, Hutu, Tutsi. So that's how the cattle keepers, led by their chiefs who were just manipulating them, had formed an alliance with the Catholics. That's why DP was strong in Ankole. And they were really doing bad things. Damaging property, attacking people, abusing people, dividing people. Insecurity. In places like Uganda, you would get coffee being cut at night by rivals. They come and cut somebody's garden. So as we were in Ntare, by 1965, I remember very well, I got together with Elia Kategaya and the other boys, and we said, this is rubbish. What these leaders are doing is very bad. I remember Kategaya telling me that their UPC leaders, because Kategaya was in UPC, and the UPC had been cheating elections. They were very good at cheating elections. Me, I didn't vote in 1962 because I was 18, I was approaching 18. But the voting that time was 21 years. Kategaya was not yet 21, like he was slightly older but not 21. So he should not have voted. But Kategaya voted illegally, but also voted 8 times.
To be among the ministers who served in cabinet with the late Right Honorable Elia Kategaya. The first time you appointed me as a Minister of State for Youth and Children Affairs, and therefore I have had the advantage of benefiting from the wisdom and the great wealth of history of Uganda and Africa through the Right Honorable Elia Kategaya, who occasionally used to chair us when His Excellency the President was on external duty.
To you, as his childhood friend, President Yoweri Museveni, it is Kategaya's wish that you guide this country in a very peaceful and orderly transition as a lasting legacy to the nation you have both served with the dedication. I would also like to argue, President Museveni, to engage Elia Kategaya's seniors and elders, particularly those who are over 75. It's a remarkable generation whose wealth of experience and wavering patriotism can offer you very honest, invaluable counsel on matters of national importance.
I'd like to begin by expressing my heartfelt gratitude to His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and his dearest wife, Mama Janet Museveni. Thank you so much for your unwavering support through the years.
One thing I remember about Honorable Kategaya, he was a family man who took care of even us who were not his biological children. He supported everyone who was part of the party, both emotionally, mentally.
Of course, as I said that he was my in-law, of course we benefited much from him. One,
UBC News Tonight. Now, the Directorate of Ethics and Integrity have been grilled over mismanagement of funds. The Directorate, while appearing before the Parliament's Public Accounts Committee, failed to account for 1.9 billion shillings that was paid to 4 individuals on personal accounts in the Directorate as transport and fuel allowances. Now, in the same meeting, the committee discovered impersonation where a non-certified junior accounts assigned on financial statements on behalf of the principal accountant without authorization. These were responding to the queries raised in the Auditor General's report for the financial year 2023-24. We have the details in this report.
The Directorate of Ethics and Integrity has responded to concerns raised by the Auditor General's report for the financial year 2023-2024. In the report, the Auditor General noted a mischarge of expenditure close to 201 billion. This interested the committee in tasking the entity's accounting officer, Alex Okello, to account for the funds.
It looked as if a mischarge was for only one activity. But it's a number of these ones.
The letter of instruction from the Minister of Finance telling you that go ahead and divert because there's a critical activity.
Payments for vouchers and commitments and extended pass which were already executed in the previous financial year were actually paid by Ministry of Finance and Bank of Uganda after the financial year has ended.
The committee also noted that in the AG's report, financial statements that were supposed to be signed by the head of accounts had been signed by a junior accountant. This raised suspicion in the committee, questioning Julius Tumuhaire in what grounds did he sign with the financial statements.
Assuming the communication was just mere rumors, and you just acted on rumors.
Signed officially?
As simply as given them on the system to enable work continue.
It was discovered that the Directorate of Ethics and Integrity paid 1.9 billion shillings to individuals on personal accounts in the entity as transport and fuel allowances. The 4 individuals are Nicholas Abora, the Commissioner Information and Communication, who received 89.5 million, Lily Akello, the State Minister Ethics and Integrity, who received 100 million, Makumbi Moses received 77.9 million, and Alex B. Okello, who received 27 million.
You picked money to carry out an assignment and you cannot account for it. You either ate the money or misused it.
The waiver was the cash, 1.9 in November. But these personal accounts were paid in October, July.
The accounting officer, Alex Okello, responded to this issue, noting how some transactions in the entity are passed without him knowing.
You may find that some of these advances were not in the know of the accounting officer.
The entity's administration also revealed how the IGG took over the case, and investigations are ongoing.
The IGG has written to them to provide all documentation in regard to accountabilities.
The committee also observed conflicts within the entity. Lydia Chomkama and Gloria Gutabinji, Parliament.
All right, now in some more news this evening. Members of Parliament have condemned the dirty environment exposed in the ongoing Kawempe North by-election. Now, some of the MPs accused the Electoral Commission of mismanaging the process, leading to uncontrollable violence. The House, chaired by the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tewa, held a heated debate where MPs unanimously called for detailed investigations of the perpetrators of violence, which had witnessed several injuries. We have more on this report.
Almighty God, who in infinite wisdom and providential goodness.
That video that ran wild of people in military formations, and I knew it would attract consequences, both intended and unintended. So I think going forward, we may need to engage as security and all the players on how we go forward to ensure that we have credible electoral processes, right?
The minister slept on duty. Because if Electoral Commission had a meeting and he was not even in the meeting and he does not know anything, what hope can he give Ugandans? Right, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you for giving room to debate this particular issue. This morning I was on talk show. Literally, NRM, if it will ever get any votes in Kawempe, I want to tell you, skeletal, the community is bleeding.
But how?
Now, the Defense Committee, led by Honorable Wilson Kanjenje, toured and assessed the progress and status of acquisition and medical equipment installation of the UPDF National Referral Hospital at Lower Mbuya in Kampala. Honorable Huda Abson Oleru, Minister of State for Defense and Veteran Affairs, welcomed the delegation, emphasizing the importance of prioritizing citizens' health to ensure a productive population.
Because we know health is life. And we also know seeing is believing. By you coming here today, you are going a different person. You are going completely changed. If you had other perceptions, especially those members who were there the other time, they had come up with that picture, but now they are going with a different picture. So our doors are open. We continue to welcome you as our site committee. Whenever you want to visit us, you are welcome. Not only in this project, we are doing so many other projects. We have a huge amount of projects and engineers brigade, and we are doing very well. That's still part of your oversight. Next time when you are ready, we will be there to welcome you. This project is going to solve a very big foreign exchange hemorrhage in this country. The Ugandans are paying extremely a lot, treating themselves abroad, because this is going to be one of the best, or maybe the first, super specialized hospital in this country. So those other complicated sicknesses that we are doing treating outside there will be treated here. And because they are the most complicated diseases, they are very few. They are not like malaria where everybody is sick. So
my name is Wilson Kazimoto. I'm a member of Parliament representing Nyabusho's constituency in Kibura district and the chairperson of a Parliamentary Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs. This is a committee that supervises the Ministry of Defense, including UPDF. So we are here to inspect the progress of the military super specialized hospital here at Mbuya. What we have seen, my colleagues and I are really impressed. the overall readiness of the hospital, specialized hospital, for purposes of commissioning is at 93%. Structurally speaking, everything is done. They are cleaning. We are impressed. I can tell you, a facility of this kind is the first in Uganda. This is a super specialized military hospital. In other jurisdictions, it handles VVIPs. And when we put those questions, we are impressed that they are happy, they are ready. The equipment and fittings are all procured and done in the country. The fittings are waiting, cleaning and removal of dust to...
Sarah Tibakalese, living with albinism, is one of those few vulnerable women who have encountered and outgrown all odds of stigma to live a normal life. In her search for employment, Sarah, a single mother of 2 boys, recounts the stigma she faced due to her physical appearance. Now, as Susan Naonga reports, despite the challenges, her tale signifies the incomplete struggle for women empowerment and emancipation in Uganda.
Sarah Tibakalese, born in Luka district and a single mother of 2 boys, is living with albinism. Sarah's 2 children are not living with the condition. After a long search for employment to make ends meet, Sarah counts 2016 as her luckiest year after she was recruited into the kindergarten section at Mother of Angels Junior School.
Those kids, they like me. They loved me so much. The moment I came, even I thought that they'll be fearing me, but it didn't happen.
She recounts the stigma encountered due to her physical appearance as a person living with albinism in her search for employment.
Us, we can't stay with that one.
Joining Mother of Angels Junior School Center in 2016 was a turning point in her life, as this was the only job placement that made her feel human and important in society, irrespective of her physical appearance. The environment at school, including the learners and staff, right from the beginning embraced her and lived harmoniously, a motivation that keeps her moving.
Madam has been social with me, all the staff.
However, even with this, some people still continue to stigmatize her, but fortunately, her children appreciate the woman and the mother in her.
In fact, my children, they love me. And some of the people, they are saying those children are not mine because they don't resemble me.
The director, Mother of Angels Junior School, Angela Mutonyi, says working with Sarah has been an opportunity to empower and support a woman.
I saw it as a special opportunity for me to lift a person of that, a person with that kind of disability. And above all, she's even a single mother with 2 boys. So I felt by giving her employment, I would have impacted so much in her life.
She recounts some of the cases of resistance encountered from some parents following Sarah's recruitment.
A few members of the community, some were parents, they would also complain, and they would think that the children would fear her, but then that wasn't the case. When we started working with her, the children freely interacted with her. She has had no problem. Basically, she also loves children. She enjoys her work. And as we work with her, we see everything is normal.
The head teacher, Mother of Angels Junior School, Joshua Okiria, described Sarah as an actual example of disability, not being an ability.
At first, it looked so discouraging to have such a person, but for me, when I looked at it, I saw disability is not inability, and we had to consider her. And from the time we had Sarah, Sarah is so wonderful.
In his Women's Inspirational Message, he called upon parents to appreciate government initiatives on women empowerment and support the girl child, especially the vulnerable ones like Sarah, to take up their space.
Parents who might also have children with disabilities, more so girls, people tend to neglect their children leave the children just at home there. You can take an example from Sarah. Sarah can speak very good English because she went to school.
He also gives a head up for government for the support and encourage the general public to be part in creating safe spaces for the vulnerable.
I thank this government of Uganda that has recognizing these women.
Women and children living with albinism still remain vulnerable to sexual violence, discrimination, limited access to health care and education. They are also often socially excluded and discriminated against, which has caused many to lag behind. This toxic myth takes their gender confidence to participate in leadership roles and advocate for their rights and needs. Susan Nawonga reporting for ABC TV.
Thank you, Susan Nawonga. Now, still in the spirit of International Women's Day, as it approaches, UBC has highlighted the experiences of female traffic officers celebrating their resilience in the male-dominated field of law enforcement. Many of these women have advanced to commanding ranks, showcasing outstanding leadership and management skills in their roles. Take a look.
In the heart of Kampala, Uganda's capital, the roads are bustling with activity. Thousands of cars, motorcycles, and pedestrians race against time. But behind this controlled chaos stands a woman whose voice and actions help keep everything moving smoothly. In Uganda's police force, particularly the Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety, women play a significant role in managing traffic. Assistant Superintendent of Police Charlotte Ndiahabwe, the Division Traffic Commander for Akiso District, shares her experience of day-to-day traffic operations as a way of commemorating International Women's Day.
The first deployment, I was OC station, then I was regraded to traffic. I went through the course, the induction course of traffic. Then I became a district traffic officer. That was Lamore district. From Lamore, I was taken to Tororo. Then after Tororo, I came to Akiso.
Ndiahabwe is a mother and has served in Uganda's police force for 10 years. She takes pride in her contribution to national security, particularly in keeping people safe on the road.
I feel happy to serve my nation, and as a mother, I feel good. So police work, it appears to be hectic, but it is the simplest as long as you have planned for your activities and you have a positive attitude towards your work.
In a male-dominated field like security, Ndiahabwe is married with children and speaks about the dynamics of balancing her family responsibilities with her demanding job.
I have to do work the way it is supposed to be done. I have to make sure my personnel are alert on duty. Someone who is sick is supposed to be for sick leave. Someone who wants to check on the family, he's allowed to go. Then I do operations day per day. It depends on the operation, the day's operation. From morning to evening, they say do this, do that. At the end of the day, they need reports, and that's how I do the work.
Although she has had positive experiences in traffic control, Ndiahabwe acknowledges that female officers often face disdain from both male and female motorists.
We are trained to harden, to be strong and to endure, because if someone abuses me like I'm on duty, someone tells you, you people, you have bad manners, you are stupid, you are this and this, we take it. It is okay with our soul. Those are work hazards, those are challenges.
Corporal Proskovia Namaweji, traffic controller on Kampala Road, shares her experience of 15 years on duty.
When you come in the field, you meet your other colleagues and do this work together. It's not an individual that everything is going to be put on you as an individual. No.
Namaweji highlights how difficult it can be to deal with the conflicts and confrontations that arise daily in traffic operations. However, she finds fulfillment in knowing that her work directly contributes to the safety of others.
For example, I've got someone maybe has been knocked and is in pain, and I'm able to avail this person with a vehicle to rush him or her to the hospital. Then the person is maybe treated by the person who knocked him. It makes me feel very happy.
For female officers, the satisfaction of serving as mother figures in their professional roles is deeply fulfilling, even as they face criticism.
Because me, I'm also a mother. Even my children fall sick. So there is no way I can ignore a parent who is rushing a child to the hospital because he has violated the lights.
As we celebrate International Women's Day, these women urge parents to change their mindset about the police force, moving away from the stereotype that it's a profession for uneducated or only for men.
Police is not for people who have not gone to school or for failures. It is like any other job, it is like any other career, and we are enjoying. If I was not enjoying, I wouldn't be here.
Female traffic officers commend the Uganda Police Authority for offering them equal opportunities to serve the country free from gender discrimination. They are proud to be part of the force that has empowered them to contribute to national security.
Because tomorrow we don't know. We are with our kids, but tomorrow we don't know what God is planning for us. They nurture them for the world.
Women in traffic policing are an inspiration to many young girls, exposing them to opportunities in the police force and other sectors and empowering them to make meaningful contributions to national security. As we commemorate this year's International Women's Day, it is important to acknowledge the women who have influenced change in society and continue to break barriers in their professions. Abdullah Silluwa and Rogers Komagum for UBC.
Thank you, Abdul Nasir Lubama and Rogers Komagum, for that amazing report, looking at the women in traffic police, balancing work, home, etc. is quite amazing. Now, into a bit of some sad news. Police has confirmed that 3 people died, while 9 are nursing injuries after a fire gutting Sunrise building in Kampala on Wednesday. Now, police spokesperson Kampala Metropolitan Patrick Onyango said this at a media briefing, stating that according to preliminary findings, the outbreak could have been caused by an informal liquid soap-making individual at the building. He, however, said a formal and final report containing the damage and cause of the fire will be communicated after thorough investigations.
Following the devastating fire that destroyed the Sunrise building along Rashidi Kamis Road in Old Kampala on Wednesday, Thursday morning saw UBC revisiting the scene to determine if the flames had been fully extinguished. Upon arrival, it appeared that the fire brigade and police were still working hard to fully contain the fire. Police had set up a rope around the site to prevent unauthorized access, which caused concern among the local business community operating near the damaged building.
Ekizimbe ekyakutte omuliro kyeri ku Sunrise. Naye kati fe amaduuka gaffe gali wano mu Mukwano Mall. Naye bw'oba olaba distance gye batusibiddemu, kuvaana ekitegeeza naffe abakolera muno tetuyina we tuyinza yita okuyingira mu bizinensi zaffe.
Notambulamu okugenda bwe tuti nze mbadde nsaba mufune engeri gye muteeka bino ebiguwa byabwe ku sayidi wali awaayidde then ffe kati tubeereko ne we tuyita okutambuza ebintu byaffe.
What an professional. Ogamba kuva jjo. Omanyi emmotoka zizaawo z'amazzi. Emmotoka zizaawo z'amazzi ringa nga 10. Naye omuliro gukyaliyo. That means amazzi ago si mazzi erabika.
This situation also affected the journalists who had returned to follow up on the story, with law enforcement deploying trucks in an attempt to block cameras from recording footage. Kampala Central Division Mayor Salimu Uhuru visited the scene and said he had come to alert law enforcement to avoid blocking the road links, as this had caused the interruptions to traffic flow and local businesses.
First and foremost, I've come in the morning, there was an explosion of a cylinder that happened in the building, and what we decided is first to come and contain the situation. So I want to thank the police. They came with a water bowser. We have poured water in the whole building, and they are sucking all the chemicals. You very well know the roads are congested, and we want this road to be opened as soon as yesterday, because the schools that are here, there's Aga Khan Primary School, Old Kampala Primary, Old Kampala Secondary, Victoria's, and this is the only access road. So we want police to do its job and open the access road.
According to Kampala Metropolitan Police spokesman Patrick Onyang, the interim findings confirmed 2 deaths and 9 people being admitted to Mulago Hospital with serious injuries.
Our Directorate of Fire and Rescue Services, they worked tirelessly and they extinguished the fire to rescue 20 people. Unfortunately, 2 died. We can only confirm 2 people died.
Onyango also mentioned that, based on preliminary findings, the fire might have been sparked by an informal liquid soap-making operation on one of the building's floors, though he advised that a more detailed report would follow after the investigation.
We have not yet actually come out with what caused the fire, although unconfirmed reports alleges that it started from the first floor where they are making an informal liquid soap business. So our detectives are going to investigate all that to confirm whether it is true or not.
He further stated that 2 of the deceased were nationals from South Sudan and Tanzania. Meanwhile, Onyango also commented on a fatal accident that occurred around 7 p.m. on Wednesday in Kagoma-Longo Bombo Road.
5 people have been confirmed dead and several others were injured. It is alleged that motor vehicle registration number UBK 769A Fuso Super Ground, driven by unidentified driver, was coming from Kampala side heading to Bombo. Lost control and started knocking other motor vehicles.
Right now, the National Water and Sewage Corporation is to upgrade the Gaba water treatment plant, an initiative involving the installation of pumps and extracting additional water from the Katosi system. This is set to benefit Lubaga, Chengira, Nansana and Wakeso residents.
National Water and Sewage Corporation has outlined the ongoing efforts to enhance water supply reliability in Western Kampala, particularly during the dry seasons. The replacement of pumps at Gaba with new ones is expected to stabilize, resulting in a more reliable supply of water at Muyenga tanks.
We are currently making effort to stabilize the water supply situation in Kampala, mainly through a number of interventions at the water treatment plant. As you have seen on site, we have already embarked on the exercise of asset renewal, replacing some of the problematic pumps which have outlived their useful life.
A project includes the installation of a new pump at the Namgongo booster, capable of lifting 6 million liters of water into the Nagulu tank.
But we have also made an effort to lift more water out of the Katosi system by additional pump at our bulk transfer station at Namugongo. Now the net impact of these interventions from Gaba, we have added more water into the Muyenga system.
The first phase will entail the installation of 5 new pumps, with 2 already in place and 3 more, and the second will involve the replacement of the 22 pumps, aimed at resolving the majority of the pump-related issues at Gaba. Bantu Machawe Semambo, Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo.
Hey, Nkowe High School. Now wana tufunye wo muwanguzi wa MTN Momo. Ye wangu de school fees ezo mwaka mulamba tebereza. Hey, owuliro otya mutima kati.
Banange sanyu byenye nali amochi wagonya njaga nyangu amali balonze erinyo.
Esisi?
Njani awangula school fees.
Eza Momo.
Eza Momo.
Ezo mwaka mulamba.
Mwaka mulamba ndi musanyu.
Oh my goodness.
Banange MTN mwene yanza ne yanze.
Wanje?
Mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala.
Kubiriza muzadde munange yonna joli. Wallahi isa serious school fees for Momo Pay.
Dial *165 *80 hash. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You will now enter the draw to win school fees for your child for a whole year.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels, and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukota Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
Welcome back from that break, and we're glad that you're still with us here in UBC News tonight. Now in more news this evening, the candidates contesting for the Kawempe North Parliamentary seat have been actively campaigning as they seek votes, and we have the details.
The NRM flag bearer for Kawempe North, Farida Nambi, has praised President Yoweri Museveni for the Emyoga initiative, which she said has greatly benefited Ugandans.
yabagala nnyo n'ayiiya puroguramu eyo ey'emyuga buli muntu asobole okubeera ng'afuna n'aleeta PDM n'aleeta presidential skilling programs n'aleeta n'ebirala bingi n'atukuuma mu mirembe bannange NRM.
Nambi urged special consideration for the people of Kawempe, citing their many pressing needs. She has continued her door-to-door campaigns, moving through areas such as Kawempe 2, Namere, Mugalu, Tula, Chiganda and Sebagala, asking residents to support her.
Secondary school,
residents voiced their grievances about the difficult conditions they face. Just 7 days left until the by-election. Kawempe residents will soon decide who will represent them in Parliament. Story compiled by Sudat Kaye for UBC News.
A team of board members from the Uganda National Mining Company Limited are on a working tour to assess the state of Kilembe Mines Limited in Kasese district as preparations are underway to revamp it. The team, led by the Vice Chairperson of the Board of Directors, Mr. Byagaba James, has started visiting different assets of the mine which were abandoned over 30 years ago.
Government of Uganda secured a potential local investor, Sarai Group Limited, who is going to revamp Kilembe Mines Limited in collaboration with Uganda National Mining Company Limited. Mr. Byagaba is optimistic that the site still has potential resources to produce which is required.
And we have had very useful interaction with management, and they have assured us the mine is viable, it's workable, it has a very good resource, and this is what we want to establish before we actually start operation.
He further emphasized that assets of the mine like the hospital, administration block, will be given the first priority as the project starts.
We've just visited the hospital. You know, they moved from the old premises, which were devastated by Nyamwamba, the floods, and moved to where the bank used to be, the supermarket, and so on. I mean, the condition, the state of the buildings are really not ideal for hospital.
Kilembe Mines Limited, which has not been in operation for over 30 years, is expected to employ over 1,000 people as it starts the operation.
Kilembe, when it was functioning during its times of glory, it employed around 5,000 people. And I know the beginning they may employ more than 1,000 people because mining is labor intensive. Those 1,000 people have to eat, have to sleep, have to buy clothes and so many things.
During the interaction with the board members, the Chief Executive Director for Kilembe Mines, Mr. Chakonya Fred, noted that there is a need to have geologists on the board since the company has been with insufficient manpower for a long time.
Geology department was the first one they killed. Second, the survey department also died. When it came to engineering, I don't know how they could have forgotten and left out metallurgy. These are crucial. I'm talking about now human resources. They are crucial things if you are going to work to learn a mine. But these
Alex Kwatambora, a member of the board and a specialized geologist, said that skilled manpower will be needed in areas of exploration.
In terms of mining, the geologist is the one who determines which grade you're going to mine, at what level, and how much quantity you're going to mine. They have the other component of this project is the exploration area component, which goes beyond maybe 560 square kilometers, and therefore you need geologists to do exploration, and then thereafter they quantify any minerals that they will find in there.
Helen Barbara and Moses Mutabali for UBC TV News.
Now in more news this evening, Hajat Hadija Namyalo, the head of the NRM National Chairman's Office, urged Muslims across the country to reflect on their behavior during Ramadan and strive for self-improvement to earn spiritual rewards. Namyalo made these remarks during the handover of Ramadan packages to various mosques in Wakiso district. Now, Muslims from several mosques in Wakiso, including Masjid in Kasangati and Masjid Masiluta Kasangati, received fasting materials courtesy of the Office of the NRM President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Hajat Hadija Namyalo personally handed over these items and encouraged the recipients to adopt positive behaviors not only during Ramadan but throughout the year to reap spiritual benefits.
Let us be repentful. Let us focus on cleaning our hearts to perfection. If you had a bad heart, really, just pray to God to clean you, to clean that heart of yours. Because we don't know whether we shall be there. the next Ramadan.
Museveni, thank you very much. We thank His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, for remembering the Muslim fraternity, for giving out all the iftar items throughout the country. May God bless you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Oh, let us do the movement as we give out to the poor, to the needy people, the unprivileged, to ensure that at least they also get something they eat during the breaking of their fasts. So we have been doing this for the last 2 years, and we are continuing to do this throughout. As the month goes, we are
ntwala omukisa guno okwebaza Hajati Namyalo ne office ya president okubeera nga basobodde okulowooza ku muntu wa wansi ne balowooza ku Kyaddondo nga constituency Kyaddondo East. Bambi tweyanziza nnyo, tweyanzeege.
Now, in an effort to support refugees during the fasting period of Ramadan, essential items such as maize, flour, rice, sugar and cooking oil have been donated to the residents of Chiriandongo refugee camp. The Deputy Secretary General of the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, Honorable Adinda Abdurazak, handed over the items to the refugees through the Muhammad IV Foundation Uganda chapter, emphasizing the importance of supporting those in need during this holy month.
On March 2nd, 2025, Muslims around the world began their 30-day fasting period, marking the start of Ramadan. While many believers joyfully welcomed the sight of the moon, others were concerned about how they would manage the fasting period, especially regarding their ability to break their fast. In response to these concerns, the Muhammad VI Foundation Uganda chapter donated food items such as maize flour, rice, cooking oil, among others, to settlers in this camp. Chiriandongo refugee camp houses those from Sudan, Congo, and internally displaced individuals from Bududa district. Led by Honorable Adinda Abdurazak, the Deputy Secretary General of Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, the handover ceremony underscored the noble character of giving those in need during Ramadan.
One of the places where we have been affected by so many challenges, not limited to accommodation, food, housing and the rest. So we pray to Allah for whatever we could have extended here, you add another hand, inshallah, in also other aspects.
Sheikh Sulaiman Boyo, the Chiriandongo district CAD, expressed gratitude to the foundation for its support, highlighting that the camp, which houses over 200 people, would greatly benefit from this donation.
We expect that our communities are going to enjoy the beginning of Ramadan with the best meals, inshallah.
Some of the beneficiaries cited that the relief is timely.
المساعدات الإنسانية الذي قدمها عن طريق مؤسسة محمد السادس للعلماء الأفارقة في مكتبها بأوغندا.
The donation event was held at Chisanyi Mosque, Chimogoro Parish, Mutunda Sub-County, Chiriandongo District.
Accountants are being urged to embrace modern technology, including artificial intelligence, while upholding integrity and adhering to ethical standards. Speaking at the 15th graduation ceremony of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda, CPA Ronald Mutumba emphasized the need for continuous professional development to keep pace with technological advancements. Here are the details.
A total of 404 accounting professionals graduated at the ceremony in Kampala, including 353 certified public accountants, 19 certified tax advisors, and 32 accounting technicians.
As a CPA graduate, I commit myself to acting in the public interest.
The Chief Executive Officer of EcoBank, Grace Mulisa, who officiated the ceremony, encouraged accountants to embrace the digital era. She highlighted the significance of artificial intelligence, data analytics, a positive attitude and strong communication skills in transforming the accounting profession.
Integrity and trust. And for me, whether it's, I don't think you can find that with
completely find that with AI. And which is why you still are very, very critical to what you do and what you bring. That in the digital world, where automation and AI are taking over tasks, one thing remains irreplaceable. It's trust. And trust is the currency of your profession.
The ICPAU Young Accountant of the Year, Joseph Osako, urged graduates to uphold dedication, integrity and honesty while committing to continuous learning and mastering digital skills to advance in their careers.
Be creative, ensure that you solve problems, and never stop learning. I repeat, never stop learning. Never stop growing, and always hold the values of professionalism and integrity that defines the CPA.
The president of ICPAU, CPA Ronald Mutumba, reiterated the institute's role in regulating accountancy standards in Uganda and ensuring professional conduct. He noted that ICPAU is a member of both the International Federation of Accountants and the Pan-African Federation of Accountants.
For those who have the commitment, the perseverance, those who fall 7 times but still lift themselves up 8 times. Those who don't belong to that category of quitters, because quitters never win. And you are a testament that you are winners. A very big up for all of you.
The Chief Executive Officer of ICPAU, CPA Derek Nkanja, advised the new graduates to register with the Institute, which is responsible for monitoring and maintaining quality standards in the profession.
But let's stay together, because in my local language, if one gets off the main, it becomes irrelevant. So let's stay together and then we'll be the force for our economy.
Marion Awori, Vincent Wamundu, UBC.
Osmosis again. Osmosis tried to pay. Money wasn't enough. He checked every pocket. Money wasn't enough. Osi, we're sorting it. With the momo, we're sorting it. Osmosis checked again. Money still not enough. He looked everywhere. Hey, but what is going on? Osi, we're sorting it. With the momo, we're sorting it.
When your money is not enough, we're sorting it with MTN Momo. Use the Momo app or dial *165 *5 hash to add call with Momo Advance and pay bills, send money or buy bundles.
Amazina ganje inyetekwa Seruhanga John Bosco induga mu district ya Rukungiri ndio muhanguzi wa miliyoni 18 na Uganda National Rotary nzahangwire kurwo mu kuzana *278 hash ngafuna message erikweka ndio muhanguzi nashemererwa konka nabaza kugira ngo neri y'abafere sente ziriyo zone bakaziteka ko nazihangwire.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Welcome back. And now into the business scene. Doho Irrigation Scheme cooperative societies have received a donation of over 10,000 tons of aromatic seeds from the Korean program on international agriculture. The generous contribution is expected to improve rice yields in the region and elevating production from an average of 2.5 tons per hectare to an impressive 5 tons per hectare.
This donation, part of a broader initiative, aims to enhance rice farming in eastern and northern Uganda by shifting from local rice seeds to improved varieties.
We have always been longing to welcome anybody who is able to introduce and give us seeds which are of high yielding quality.
Number one, number one, number one.
COPIA is committed to supporting sustainable agricultural practices in Uganda, making this donation critical for transforming the livelihoods of thousands of farmers.
This time we donate the foundation seed, fertilizer, and cropping calendar and farming diary, and also their head. Each the cooperative's emblem head. But I promise the second season with foundation seed we will donate agricultural machinery.
At the donation ceremony, experts stressed adhering to guidelines for optimal rice production and cautioned farmers against breaching the recommended cropping calendar.
In order to harvest good seed, the cropping very carefully separated. So we also recommended cropping calendar adjust. First season, March to June. The second season, August to November.
Farmers received personalized cropping calendars and diaries to help record data, plan planting schedules, and monitor farming practices throughout the season.
Last time, some of us did not have records. So when the joint evaluation committee came, people were just saying, I did this, I did that.
The donation has been welcomed with enthusiasm by local farmers, many of whom expressed hope that the high-quality seeds will yield better harvests. Marion Awori, Joseph Okow for UBC.
Uganda has signed and handed over the instruments of accession, officially becoming the 20th member country of the Fund for Export Development in Africa, FEDA. Meanwhile, Absa Bank Uganda, in partnership with Visa, have launched 3 premium card solutions targeting high net worth individuals. And we have more in this corporate wrap.
Uganda has officially handed over the instruments of accession to the Fund for Export Development in Africa, FEDA, a development impact investment platform sponsored by the African Export-Import Bank, Afri-Exim Bank.
Uganda looks forward to actively contributing to FEDA's mission and to working hand in hand with our African brothers and sisters in fostering an environment conducive to increased trade, investment and shared prosperity. We are mindful that this accession is not an end in itself, but rather the beginning of a journey that will require continued dedication, mutual understanding, and commitment to our shared objectives.
At the accession ceremony held at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Malin Ngoi, the Chief Executive Officer FEDA, highlighted the platform's mission to bridge the US $110 billion gap in the funding required to transform trade in Africa.
We want to support companies that have the ambition to become champions. So we would want to have a very strong team with a strong business plan, a strong vision, and we want to come and support that, because what we do at FEDA, which is a little bit different from the bank, is we don't just lend money. We're actually an investor, so that means that once I've invested, I'm there at the board meeting, we're monitoring the plan, we adjust it.
Despite Africa's vast resources, endowments and connecting markets, the continent has the lowest level of intra-regional trade in the world. In another development, Absa Bank Uganda has expanded its card portfolio with the launch of exclusive Infinity, Signature and Business cards.
So, credit cards have existed before. This is a credit card that has
enhanced features and enhanced reward for the user.
So you will appreciate that, in society, people are different and they have got different needs. So what we have done is come up with a card that is bespoke. So it speaks or responds directly to different categories of clients based on the needs they have.
Chad Pollock, the Vice President, Visa East Africa, underscored the importance of innovation in the financial sector, noting that such advancements are crucial for boosting financial inclusion.
When we look at alternative payments, I think there's a lot of opportunity for more competition, and competition makes everyone better. It's really driving more solutions for those that need it the most. So you think about the small businesses, you think about the youth, you think about people whose lives are effectively changing at the pace that technology is happening. I think that all of us are really playing a part in how people can now transact, and we're bringing more people into the financial space, and for me that's the win.
The newly launched cards are tailored for high net worth individuals seeking exclusive financial and lifestyle benefits. Dennis Igoa for UBC Business.
And with that, UBC News Tonight has come to an end. Thank you so much for your company. But do join us for our second edition at 10 o'clock. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto and my colleague Mohammed Mugalu on sign language interpretation. We'll see you at 10.